Hello, I'm back reviewing Black Clover Volume 10. Now with this one, I thought that it was a bit rushed, because it basically opens up with the Black Bulls splitting up into pairs of two to try and find ways to heal Asta's arms. Go to the Royal Library. Magna and Locke travel to these old ruins to find stuff. Sammy and Gray go to this forest to find some magical food. And I like this little scene that shows Sammy and Gray, where Gray's taking the form of Sammy, and then the same exact position. Noelle ends up talking to Fenrir to take her to this guy's house that they know, whose actually backstory is expanded on in one of the light novels. They make brief mentions to him in the manga, and it's him, his wife Dominate, and then their friend Mariella, and his name is Fansol, and they all were from the Diamond Kingdom, where we find out that Domina is from the Forest of Witches, where Vanessa also is from. So I'm assuming she was from the forest, left the Diamond Kingdom, and then married him. And so they all ended up leaving the Diamond Kingdom, and now they're traitors. And so they all had left the Diamond Kingdom, and now they're living in the Clover Kingdom. And the Black Bulls ended up helping them out when the Diamond Kingdom had gone after them. And they do have these missing reports that Fenrir made. And Yami keeps making these little comments towards the bottom. At least in the anime, I believe they gave a 2-episode flashback of something showing what happened. And so they reveal that Vanessa must have gone to the Forest of Witches to talk to the Queen, who has the power to potentially heal Asta's arms. And so Vanessa had gotten there to make a trade, because she had fled because the Witch Queen wanted to use her powers to be able to control destiny. She makes a deal with the Queen saying something give me the knowledge to heal Asta's arms, basically, and I'll stay here for however long you need me to stay here, and using my magic. And so this little group go to the Forest of Witches because Vanessa is also a fugitive from there. She left, and none of the witches who live in the forest are allowed to leave, or they'd be seen as traitors. And so they go there to try and save Vanessa, but also I think to try and heal his arms. And this is kind of the moment where I thought the story went by too quickly, because I like the idea of the Forest of Witches. I like the design. A big picture here where they've built the houses in trees. They got the pathways with the branches to go in between. You also see some women flying around in brooms, so it's big enough for them to fly. And they also got these little platforms on the houses people can stand on. And so I kind of wish they had spent one chapter in the forest walking around before they got captured or noticed. Or at least had Vanessa walking around, and her encountering the people, and the people realizing that she's back and calling her a traitor or something. Because the gang goes in the Dominate, she makes magical items, and so she has these two invisibility cloaks kinda that also hide their magic, so no one can pick up on it. And they're walking while they're flying around, and then a branch catches on the cloak that's covering Fenrir, and Asta. It gets pulled off, and they get noticed, and they've been in here for 5 panels basically. So I kind of would have liked to see more of the forest before they get into the big battle, because like both the Diamond Kingdom and the Eye of the Midnight Sun show up at the same time, but on like opposite sides of the forest. And it's like the Witch Queen knew that they were coming, because at one point she says that they came much faster than she expected. And the Diamond Kingdom is after the Witch Queen because they're trying to figure out how she's been alive for so long. Because I think it's like the rumor is that she's centuries and centuries old. And we later find out that she uses blood magic, so I'm assuming it has something to do with her blood magic, keeping her young. The Eye of the Midnight Sun is after the Witch Queen as well, because she stole one of the magic stones of the after. And so that also raises the question of how long has she had this stone? When did she take it from them? Because she's wearing like the magic stone as like an earring. You can kind of see it here. And like, did she like take it from like and the Midnight Sun directly? Like, did she know about them? Did she know what they were planning on doing with it? Or did she just steal it for its magical power? Because so far, it hasn't been mentioned what all of the stones do. And so, like, this part I felt like went by kinda quickly for me. Just cause, like, I don't mind the fight scenes. Like, I don't mind that's like, the arcs aren't too long. But I do kind of wish that, like, the setup to them would take, like, a bit longer. And I also wonder if the other side knew that they sent both Mouse and Fauna to go fight. Because it was revealed in volumes 2 and 3 that Fauna and Mouse used to be friends back in the Diamond Kingdom. And he was the one who won that competition thing, if you want to call it that, to get the magic stones. Where the Diamond Kingdom would sacrifice, like, basically most of the kids in this program thing just to get one of them who was a skilled warrior, and that was Mouse. But then I'm costing Fauna her life, or so Mouse thought. And so he doesn't seem to realize that Fauna is alive, and Fauna doesn't seem to realize who Mouse even is, since Asta tries to talk to her at one point. And he realizes that she's using magic similar to Mouse. Meanwhile, it was kind of shown when Mouse appeared that it seems like regaining his memories when he was at the one temple. And so he's trying to remember Fauna. Do the Diamond Kingdom know that Fauna's alive? And if they did, why would they have sent Mouse to go fight her if they knew that they were friends, unlike they just thought that he wasn't able to remember her? And also, because of the fact that Fauna doesn't seem to remember anything, except she has memories of Licht, somehow when he appears pretty young, which just adds to, like, the confusion. Because it's almost like you would think she remember Mouse over Licht. Unless this is for her like a pretty recent memory. But her regaining her memories also lets her like get like a third eye like Fido had. And so I'm now just kind of wondering like what kind of magic are these third eyes, because be going slightly different with each of them. At least with Fido's, he got like an upgraded version of his beast magic, so it was like mythical beast, where with hers, it just seemed to mostly increase her magic, well, I think mostly using the same attributes she has. So I mean, like Vanessa's saying it's using magic with different attributes, but they don't say that much more about it. It just looks like she's still using fire magic and the mineral magic. Because from what she's doing in the fight, it still looks like she, like I said, doing the same stuff. So I don't know what other attributes she's using. Because, like I said, they never mention it at all. And also, I'm just now wondering if the Witch Queen knew that these two people were coming. Because she ends up saying they were first to think they'd come in a time like this. So apparently she knew they were coming, but it didn't seem like she had too much, like, protection on the forest to, like, keep them safe. Not even, like, the basic stuff. Like, if she knew that they were coming, I thought she would, like, start putting up some more defenses. Even if they came too fast, you would think that she had some sort of thing set up beforehand to fight them. Yeah, they're fighting Fauna and Noelle. After Fauna gets the third eye, her fire magic becomes too intense. Well, and she also has the fire elemental salamander, who, like, I think I mentioned him in the previous one, where he just looks like a dragon, basically. More of like a European style dragon. And their fire is so intense that the only one who can even do anything to them is Noelle, since she uses water magic. And so she ends up summoning her sea dragon's role to fight them. It actually barely misses, but Vanessa also, she ends up somehow directing the dragon to, like, attack from behind and injures Salamander enough for them to try and attack. But this only causes Fauna to start using spells that Mouse used. We see at one point her grimoire, but it's also the back cover of the volume. It's similar to how Mouse's grimoire is set up, where it's like almost like split down the middle, where this is what Mouse grimoire looks like, and this is what Fauna's actually looks like. And during the experimentations that the Diamond Kingdom had set up, they had, like, taken them apart and then, like, fused them together somehow, which they've never fully explained how they did this. But it somehow ended up, like, combining their two magics so that they can, like, use them. So Mouse's magic is actually mineral magic, and then Fauna's is fire magic. Yeah, I don't think they ever fully explained how they could combine the grimoires. So far, no one's been shown to, like, affect the grimoires that much. Like, it just seems like they're just magical books that attach to a person, like no one's been able to interfere that much with. Like, the only exception you could make is with Asta's grimoire, because it's a 5-leaf one, and there's a demon residing inside of it that his is kind of different and maybe breaks the rules a bit because there's an actual, like, demon living inside it, and it, like, changed it somehow. But so far they haven't gone into too much detail as to how they were able to, like, split apart these grimoires with these people's magic and like combine them to other people's, other than just being like, it's magic. I don't know. And so they ended up defeating Fauna, and well, throughout the battle we had Mariella, where she was, like, leading the witches in, like, these ambush attacks. And then Fansel, he ends up meeting Mouse. And another one of, because Fansel used to be a teacher, he sees Mouse, who was one of his students. And another one named Landros, who can, like, absorb magic and then, like, send it back at them. And I am kind of glad that they at least had spent some time kind of, like, showing off, like, what these three can do, because they can, unless you read the light novel, you don't know anything, like, about them. So at least with, like, the final couple of chapters, they, like, brought them in and kind of, like, showed them off what I thought was in a decent way of like what they can do and like who they are. Cause I'm at least glad that in the anime they showed a lot more of like their backstory and kind of like their connection to the Black Bulls, because and it's also revealed that Fansol was the one who taught Asta how to use a sword, because by the time that he joined the Black Bulls, he already seems pretty good at using his broadsword, even though he never had any training in using one beforehand. And so it is revealed in the mission report that Fanral wrote about Fansol, because we also see him fighting with like, it looks like a sword made out of wind. Oh well, I think it's supposed to be he has a sword on him that it looks like he cloaked with magic, and he fights it that way. He actually puts it like a pretty good fight against the army until Landros uses his own magic against him and ends up causing so much damage that it almost destroys, it looks like, a third of the forest, and is about to hurt Dominate until Maus ends up coming in to save her, kind of revealing that he's broken free of the Diamond Kingdom and ends up using the lessons that Fansol had been trying to teach them, because Fansol was trying to tell them that their magic exists to protect others, and that now he's turning against the Diamond Kingdom to try to protect the people that he cares about. Well, this one I liked it in a way because we're getting to see more locations that don't involve the Clover Kingdom. Like the underwater temple, like I like both of these locations. I just wish we had more time to spend in them, especially because I don't think we ever go back to them. I don't know, they might, but like especially for like the Forest of Riches, because Vanessa's from here. She was born here. She lived here for like the majority of her life. Like even though, like I know she ran away, and she doesn't really talk about it that much. We let her find out more of her backstory. It would have been at least nice just to have, like, I don't mean to say that we need to spend like 30 million chapters here, and I like the information we got from the story about how this country is like set up. I kind of wish we had spent at least one more chapter in here, just kind of like learning more about it. It is important in a way to Vanessa, like it's very important to, and like she has connections to the Witch Queen and to this land that we like don't even see, and I don't even think we go back to it at all in the story as far as I know, like I said, because like we spend more time in the Clover Kingdom, so I kind of know more about it in a way. Like at one point we had gone to the village Ghost lived in, or there's like Maria is living in with Sister Teresa and Rebecca and her family, and so when they go there I kind of know how it's set up in a way. But with the Forest of Riches, it's a new location, so I kind of wish we had more of it. Like the underwater temple I could kind of understand not getting too much because it's underwater and it's super difficult to get into. Like Noelle had a lot of trouble trying to get into it. And I do like we're getting more of Vanessa. I do like her as a character. I think she's pretty fun. I like her personality. I like her design and everything. And so I'm kind of glad that we're getting more with the Black Bulls, with like each of the members. I'm still sad that we haven't had much with Gordon yet. I think he's aside from maybe Gray, he has like the least development. And also maybe Sami, because like Sami shows up quite a bit, but we don't know that much about her backstory yet. And so she's mostly just like the comic relief character who likes to eat and uses cartoon magic to make a giant sheep to fight for her and stuff. And so like we don't know that much about Gray yet. Like we kind of get a bit with her. We find out like what she really looks like, and Ghost being kind of confused about her magic because he said that he's never really seen too many mages using transformation magic who can also transform other things aside from themselves. And so we got a little bit of like what her personality is like, but there's not that much with Gray just yet. So, like, I think, like, those three, I kind of want to see, like, more of them doing stuff. Because, I mean, like, Charmy does stuff, but like I said, she's mostly just, like, the comic relief character. Like, we're getting more with, like, Fenral. He's kind of, like, comic relief too, but I think we're getting a lot more with him with, like, his backstory. We got in the last one, see more of, like, his family. We got to meet his brother at one point. Like, we even got stuff with the ghost. Like, I don't like him that much, but I at least appreciate we got his backstory and, like, why he's acting the way he does. Like, I think everyone even forgets about him when they go to the underwater temple. And, like, when they come back, he's so, like, sad that they left him behind. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just being too quick to get to the battles or something. Because it kind of... Like, I don't mind, like I said, the fight scenes in this. I just kind of felt like they were getting, like, too fast for the battles or something. Like, one after another. Like, there was not that much, like, rushing in between because it's so very, like, tense. So it's just kind of... I don't know, wish that they would, like, slow down a little bit. Not, like, slow down too much, like, I don't mean to say it needs to take, like, forever to get to anything, but just slow down a little bit. On the one hand, I at least appreciate that they're getting, like, more plot stuff, and that things really do seem to be, like, ramping up with the Hour of the Midnight Sun and, like, kind of, like, with, like, the Diamond Kingdom coming. So it does start to feel like things are really escalating. Yeah, I mean, I think this one, even though we don't spend that much time learning about the Forest of Witches, I kind of like what we got, and like I said, them kind of like the mystery of the Witch Queen, because she seems to be this extremely old, extremely powerful witch that, like, it doesn't seem like that many people, like, know that much about her. Yeah, I don't think she was she mentioned before this? I don't know. If the Witch Queen was ever mentioned before this, or I missed it, or just kind of, like, forgot. Oh, and I almost forgot. I do kind of like the fact that at one point they're talking about how they gotta keep this a secret from Yami, because it's not any part of their official job or anything to try and go on these missions. But then it's revealed he knows what they're doing anyway, and he's just pretending to not know. And he's saying, I wish they'd work this out of their regular jobs. And so I kind of like that, where he's like, they'll all assume he's gonna be mad if they found out, but he found out anyway. I think he probably figured before they started doing this that they would do this anyway. And he's not mad at them for doing it, and also for not telling him that they're doing this. Just kind of showing that he's a lot nicer than he seems, because a lot of the times he always seems to have, like, a short temper. With this, he just doesn't really care that much, which I thought was kind of like a nice small moment for him. I don't like Landros that much as a villain. Like, he just seems somewhat bland for me. I mean, he clearly has, like, a personality. I just don't, like, enjoy him that much. In this one, like, he just seems to be doing all of this because he wants power, he wants to be acknowledged, and that's why he became one of the 8 Shining Generals that also Mars is a part of. Yeah, they seem to be, like, pretty strong and, like, giving them a good fight. I'm just kind of, like, meh towards him right now. Yeah, I do kind of like the new characters they introduced. I think they're fun. I kind of like all 3 of their, like, dynamic. I kind of like their dynamic with the Black Bulls, but they all seem to get along, like, pretty well. Yeah, I think that's everything for now. See you in the next one. Peace.